Hey, how's it going, everyone? Saintsfan back again with my top 5 wish list for the upcoming gun running / military DLC. Over the last few days, we got a little bit more information. Some stuff was found in the game files, and we kind of know that bunkers are actually going to be coming with the gun running or the military DLC. And we also know that supplies are going to factor some way into the DLC. So kind of like how supplies work, I would imagine, for CEO missions and for biker missions. So I wanted to do an up-to-date top 5 wish list, and I'm going to talk about some stuff that I haven't talked about before, and hopefully you guys enjoy. As always, let me know your top 5 or your just wish list in general for the military DLC. I figured I would do this sooner rather than later, since I would imagine at the moment Rockstar are working on the DLC, and maybe if anything I say sounds good and they like it because somehow they see this video, then that'll be a good thing, because maybe they could add it or fix it or do whatever. But the top 5 wish list. So first thing I hope for in the DLC, the missions. I hope they are like the import-export missions, in that they are fun and aren't a chore to do. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing a mission when I'm doing the import-export, sourcing vehicles or selling them, because I'm driving a fast car, it's super fun, and unlike the CEO missions or just the regular crate missions and the MC missions where you're driving super slow vehicles, that's really annoying to me, and I hope they don't do that with the gun running mission. I'm hoping that we'll get some sort of high-end military vehicles or fast military vehicles, or maybe even armored military vehicles that will allow us to go out and do these missions without having to worry about people blowing us up, and without having to worry about, I guess, just getting caught off guard because your car's so slow. Because that's kind of what happens all the time with the crate missions and the other missions and the biker missions, just that you're going so slow and you don't notice the Hydra coming. Where if you're in a somewhat fast armored vehicle, you could easily dodge them and you would have some protection. So I just hope that the missions are good. I'm not expecting too much from them. I guarantee they're going to be basically the same as the biker missions, as the crate missions, as the import-export missions, where you, at your bunker, let's just say, you go, you hit, let's get some supplies, you go out, get the supplies, you bring them back, and then eventually you sell them or something. So it's going to follow the same concept, I believe, but I just hope they are fun. Next up, I guess, sort of speaking of bunkers, since we know they're already going to be coming, I hope for good locations. And what I mean by that is, I hope they expand up to the north of the map again, like they did with the MC DLC. Because honestly, in the city, there aren't too many bunker locations. I mean, at least I don't think there are. Maybe Rockstar will prove me wrong, but I don't think it would make sense to have a military bunker somewhere under, one of the big buildings in the city. I mean, maybe by the ports, or maybe by the the eastern side, the industrial area, maybe. But I hope they expand these bunkers to locations where we don't really go that often, because then you would get people like the biker DLC when it came out. You would get people exploring the entire map. Everyone wouldn't just be clustered in the city, which in turn leads for better gameplay, because then it's not just everyone killing each other. Maybe it's only one person killing or trying to kill everyone else, instead of 5 to 10 other people trying to kill each other. It's kind of a mess when you get 30 people all in the same location, where if you're spread out, you don't get that. So I'm hoping for good locations. I mean, I already made the video on some locations that I would like to see. There are a few in particular that I think would be incredible. Hopefully Rockstar use those locations, but we will have to wait and see. I just hope that they are in good spots compared to, everything else that's in the game. Next up, vehicle customization, and this ties into bunkers. So what I'm kind of expecting here, for the longest, everyone's been wanting Pegasus vehicle customization. Now, that's never going to happen, because from what I understand, in order to have Pegasus vehicle customization, they would have to completely rewrite the Pegasus vehicle system. And that's not something they're going to do 3.5 years, into the game being out. That's why with the import-export DLC, they had the special vehicle garage, because for all intents and purposes, those are Pegasus vehicles that you can customize, but they had to make a separate system for them. And that's what I think is going to happen with this military DLC. Whatever vehicles we get, and I'll get to that in a second, whether it is the Hunter, whether it is, other military Humvees or something, I think since the bunker, I would imagine it would be somewhat big, they're going to have locations, or they're going to have, spots in the bunker, like the special vehicle warehouse, where you can bring your vehicles to. And maybe, like the MC clubhouse, there's a dedicated pay and spray or custom shop in the bunker. So you can customize whatever new vehicles come. And that would be awesome because, let's just say the Hunter or the APC tank, right? You could paint it however you want. You could maybe put decals or whatever on it. Like, there's some really cool ideas there, and I think that's what's going to end up happening because just so many people want that. So many people want customization for these military-style vehicles. So if they were to add them to the bunker, which, like I said, since theoretically it would be underground, they can make it as big as they want so they could fit jets or helicopters or anything else. I'm just hoping that we do get some really solid vehicle customization for these military vehicles. And I guess speaking of military vehicles, the three that I would want, I know I've talked about some of these a little bit in the past, but the Hunter, obviously. The Hunter is like probably number one on most people's lists for a military DLC because the Savage, let's be honest, isn't that great. And I feel like the Hunter could actually be really cool and a lot better. So the Hunter definitely, and like I said, with the vehicle customization, that would be cool, man. Different colored Hunters in the sky. The APC tank from the Ballad of Gay Tony in GTA 4. What you could do here is give it the Valkyrie cannons. Like, on the Valkyrie helicopter, there's the cannons that the second player, or the passenger, I guess, can take control of. If you give that cannon, you could repurpose it to make it an APC cannon. And they aren't too strong, but it's strong enough to be considered a tank, you know what I mean? So I would definitely like to see that. And again, with that customization, seeing some crazy ones, that would be cool. And then the other one is the stunt plane, but with guns, like an armored version of the stunt plane. Apparently, Rockstar recently buffed it, so the handling is actually a lot better now, which is kind of odd considering we're 3 years into the game. So why would they do that if they don't have plans on basically repurposing the stunt plane to become a military plane? You know what I mean? What they could do here, kind of like with the APC and the Valkyrie cannons, what they could do here is take the Buzzard cannons and place them on the stunt plane. So it's non-explosive, so they can't terrorize people on the ground like they can with the Hydra. But if it has better handling and maybe they increase the damage on them a tad bit, you could use that to combat a Hydra pilot because the Hydra pilot's kind of slow and it doesn't have, the greatest handling. So there could be some balance to the sky. And I think those three vehicles would be awesome. Obviously, I hope there's more, but those are the ones that I really hope for. You got a helicopter, that's awesome. You got the APC tank, which would be incredible for the ground. And then a stunt plane, which is so much fun to fly around with guns. So you could, defend yourself against whatever is in the sky. And then the last part of this wish list is a rebalance to some stuff. I know this might be asking too much because it seems like Rockstar have never gone back and rebalanced anything. But, the military DLC, you kind of need a rebalancement. And what I mean here, so I don't know how many people know this, but the Savage is garbage. Like, they classify it as a flying tank, I believe. But look at this. It literally 4 or 5 or 6, I forget the exact number now, but let's just say for the sake of argument, 6 bullets. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. 6 bullets from a revolver blows it up. That should not happen on a armored or flying armored tank, whatever they describe it as. You know what I mean? So what I think should happen here is they should buff the armor, add more armor to some of the military helicopters, because at the moment the military helicopters are they're kind of a joke, especially compared to Hydras and homing launchers. You're basically asking to get blown up if you fly a helicopter relatively low to the ground, even if you're not killing people, because people will just blow you up for the sake of it. So if they had more armor, maybe they could take 1, maybe even 2 homing launcher missiles, then that would be nice. One thing I don't think would happen, but would be nice, flares. That's something I'm sure they'd have to completely redo, but having flares would be nice for helicopters because of the homing launcher problem. People just blow you up. Like, they see a helicopter, like, oh, I can lock on. And it's so easy to lock on and shoot people down, especially in, say, the Savage or, some of the other slower helicopters. You can't dodge the homing launcher. So having flares, maybe 1 or 2 to have the homing launcher not hit you would be nice, but again, I'm sure that'd probably be pretty difficult. And then the other thing I thought of was an anti-air gun, like an anti-air vehicle, not something like a homing launcher on wheels, because that would be completely overpowered. But what I was thinking of, the one I thought of, and maybe they could tweak this a little bit, but the Technical, right? The Technical has the gun on the back. What if they converted the gun on the back to shoot the Hydra cannon? Because we all know the Hydra cannon is pretty overpowered, and it does explode, like it's an explosive cannon. So if they had the Technical with the Hydra cannon on the back, that would be an incredible anti-air system. Because then it would have to, you would have to take some skill, or it would take some skill to blow people up, because it's not just auto lock on. You'd have to aim your shot or lead your shot, and you know, you don't have that much armor on the Technical, so someone could easily just blow you up. But you would have the mobility. You could move around quickly, and you know, you could dodge the missiles or whatever, because you could swerve in and out of buildings. And I just think that would make the system, just like everything in general, more balanced. Because if they did add more armor to the helicopters, and they left the Hydra the same, and they added this anti-air gun on the ground, like on a car, then no matter what you're using, you know, you would have a shot. You would have some defense if you're on the ground against a Hydra. If you're in a helicopter, you would have defense against the Hydra and people on the ground, since you would have more armor. If you're in a Hydra, you're already overpowered, so, you know, you have to be a good pilot to dodge the homing launchers, to move around, and I just think overall that would be a great addition to the game. So there's my wish list. Thank you all for listening and watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think this is a pretty solid and fairly, you know, simple wish list. It's nothing, I don't think I'm asking for too much. I think the flares is probably the most that I'm asking for. But yeah, I just hope we see something along these lines in the military DLC, which will probably be coming out either in May or June. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Please drop a like if you did enjoy. Share this with whoever, maybe Rockstar if you like any of the ideas I mentioned, and subscribe for more awesome GTA content. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.